it up. Don't worry, I got it. I got it. Everything's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're seeing this, it means that we are back in the build barn. That's right, we got lots to do today. Let's get right into it. Now, when I last left you guys, we said that we were engine swapping the existing 327 that's in there, and we are swapping it with a 350 because the other day it started making some funky noises, as I said, and that's no fun. Summer's around the corner. I want to drive this thing all summer, so we're going to swap the engine and hopefully we don't have any more problems. Oh, that's right. I totally forgot to introduce you guys. How rude of me. Oh my goodness. So this is my 1972 Datsun 240Z, and when I got it, it looked like this. Now, I bought this car sight unseen. I'd never seen it. The guy, it was an accommodation sale through his Nissan dealership. He was trading it in for another vehicle, so I wired them the money, and I called my transport guy, and it showed up here maybe a couple weeks after. Now, I was extremely lucky to find one with a Chevy 327. It also has a T56 transmission, which I was planning on swapping anyways. Now, I put a Pandem wide body kit on the car, which makes it look absolutely menacing. This, for any amount of money, I would have a hard time selling it. I love it. But before we do that, we're going to throw the RX-7 back up on the lift. It's been leaking oil since it got here, as you can see there. We're going to drain the oil pan and get that sorted out so that it stops having little accidents on my floor. I don't know if you guys can see, but over here there's a block off plate that has 3 screws holding it in together. That's where the oil's coming from. I tried tightening it, didn't work, so I'm guessing we're gonna have to take that out, seal it up, and put it back on before we put some more oil in it. All right, time to get this bad boy on the lift. I think we're gonna have to push the RX-7 back through the lift, bring that outside, push the RX-7 right there, and yeah, he's already exhausted. Now, hopefully this thing starts, because as smoothly as it went pushing the RX-7 at the start of this video, I just don't feel like doing that again. Fingers crossed. So yeah, I had to turn it off because I had a feeling a piston was gonna jump out the top of the motor. The sound was so intense. So it looks like we're pushing. I'll be back. Oh no. Now I'm actually going to take these fender flares off before lifting the car, because if you see here, the gap is pretty ridiculous, and when the car goes up, the fender flare is going to hit up on the tire there, so it's easier just to take the fender flare off and make sure nothing breaks when we jack the car up. Now, it's always pretty nerve-wracking for me lifting a car like that. Like I've said before, I have no real mechanical training, and I'm just a guy in his garage doing stuff he probably shouldn't be doing. But hey, that's what all the fun's about, isn't it? So this is the Chevy 350 that's going in the Datsun. Now the reason I chose a Chevy 350 is because in theory, everything that's on this 327 should fit on the 350. So I'm gonna take off the alternator, the water pump, the carburetor, everything should bolt right up to the 350 because this top intake and that top intake are the exact same. Now I can already hear you guys, oh, what's this guy doing wearing gloves? He's not a real man. Well, a lot of you might not know this, but the reason I have these cars in this garage is because I was a former hand model. Yeah.
George has become a hand model.
A hand model?
Yes. Really?
No, just kidding.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
So first things first, we're going to drain the coolant, drain the oil, and we're gonna disconnect the battery. Looks like the RX-7 isn't the only one having accidents on the floor. Now, while the car is on the lift, I just remembered that we also have these. You can go to bed, you know. I don't need your help. Those are softer springs for the rear suspension. The setup we currently have, it's a little too stiff for my liking. With the Pandem wide body kit, the wide fenders, sometimes you want a stiffer car so that the car doesn't bounce in the rear and you can clear your fenders or you don't hit your fenders. But in my case, I'm running them a little higher. I want the comfort, so we went with some softer springs. And just like that, we got one ready to go. You can see the spring is much smaller. I'm gonna change the other one off camera and we'll be right back. And now comes the scary part. We're gonna rip into this bad boy and start disconnecting all the hoses, all the electrical lines everywhere, trying to remember where they go. We're gonna label everything, and if anything, we'll have this video to come back on if we get mixed up. First piece. Right, so we're making progress on this side. We got the throttle all disconnected. We got some wires back there that we disconnected from these things here. I'm not really sure what they are. We're gonna tuck those wires and zip tie them together in the back so we don't lose them and we remember where they went. There's also this hose, I'm guessing was from a gas overflow or something like that on this side. And yeah, we're gonna keep going. All right, so a little less complicated on this side. We have the distributor back there, which we're gonna leave on. All those wires go to each individual cylinder. So once we get the engine out of the car, we're going to mark those up and put them on the new 350. There's a couple water hoses to take off. These two hoses over here, they just run back to here and to the distributor. So we're gonna leave those on for the time being. And then we're gonna move on to taking off the AC unit, which hopefully we can just set aside there somewhere on the car so we don't have to unhook the AC lines. Now we're going to move on to the AC compressor. There's enough play in the lines back there that we should be able to pop it up over here somewhere, maybe zip tie it so that it doesn't fall down. There is a little bolt over there that has a bracket. If you loosen that, it should be able to just swivel enough so that we can get the belt off. The AC compressor is out the way. We're gonna leave it there for now. We should have room to take off the hood, and then it's time to pull out the engine and the transmission. Now there's something I've been hiding from you guys, and I think it's time to show you. No, it's not another car, but it's pretty much the closest thing you can get to another car. Let me show you.
And look what we have here. Man, sure you shouldn't be doing something else instead of running on the sim?
No comment. No comment. Everybody needs a break.
It's all about the balances, yeah?
Still car related.
Yes.
Now, my very good friends at Ank Media have been doing something huge for the past couple days. They've been setting up an actual Red Bull Racing F1 simulator in the garage for their own channel. This thing is the real deal. From the racing bucket seats to the feel of the brake pedal, the insane driver feedback you get from the wheel, and not to mention the 3 large screens that let you completely immerse yourself in the experience. I'm sure there'll be lots more of this thing in the coming weeks on the channel. Do you have anything to say before we leave? Huh? High five? High five. Yes, good girl. And on that, I think that's enough for this week. Thanks for watching, and tune in next week when we, fingers crossed, take the engine out of the 240. Bye-bye.